appreciate it. I could have the 8 extra seconds since I didn't get the chance to speak the last 2 meetings.
Could you please speak up?
I'm trying to. I'm sick.
Thank you.
I'm sick. I'll do the best I can. Okay, my name is Lee Taylor. Why does this board and administration continue to want to operate in the dark behind closed doors? What do you have to hide? To me, your methodology is coming from a position of weakness, not strength. It lacks integrity. This is supposed to be a democracy. I guess we didn't realize that it's a Chinese democracy. Right now, this board and administration has a huge credibility and transparency problem. Many of us don't believe anything coming out of this district anymore. You have a myopic view of things from inside the bubble. I find it troubling that the only way the public has found out about who even applied for the board positions is that the press had to FOIA the district. Even then, Mr. Sawin grudgingly supplied only a list of names. Why your FOIA officer does this is beyond me, but this is exactly what's been done with FOIA requests in the past year. Maybe he feels it's his role as that of obstructionist. As a taxpayer in the district, I find this behavior shameful. But I guess when you have no shame, it either has no impact or you don't understand it. Why weren't the board interviews done in an open forum rather than closed session? Why weren't prior relationships with the 2 new board members publicly disclosed before the selection process? Regarding all the financial dealings, someone had to know what was going on around here. In particular, Mr. Sawin, whose office everything seemingly funnels through. You must have seen the bills, the work orders, the contracts, the check payments. You submitted them to the board. You authorized the payment and knew to whom. Figures lie and liars figure. Of course, you'll say that you were just following orders. The Nuremberg defense. Well, we all know how well that worked out, don't we? And Dr. Tingley, I have to take issue with some statements you've made throughout this process. You said that you didn't know how bad it really was until 2013. Excuse me. Yet since this past summer, you kept saying that we should have closed the school and done more financial reductions 5 years ago. So the conclusion I draw is that you knew the district was in bad financial shape in 2010. Why didn't you speak up back then? You could have at any time, but you didn't. You betrayed our trust. You put your own personal gain above all else because you didn't want to lose a good-paying job. You could have even went to the press and alerted them about how bad things were. You could have been the Mark Felt of District 210, but you chose to say nothing. So, as with Watergate, the penultimate questions are, what did you know, and when did you know it, and how long have you been covering it up? I'm so sick of the higher-ups getting away with stealing and criminal acts and then watching those who are supposed to hold them accountable just let them go on their way. Just shrug your shoulders and go, oh well, price of doing business. Aren't you curious about anything in the lawsuit? Especially a locked blind land trust that lets someone use school property as collateral and has unlimited line of credit until 2020? If I were on the board, I'd certainly want to know what's up with that. Again, complicit or negligent. Don't you think you should be prosecuting these people? Maybe that would put a stop to it. It's the principle of the matter. These are not victimless crimes. Why isn't the district pursuing criminal charges against Dr. Wiley and Mr. Sawin? Pursuing restitution for the money? You know, fraud and misappropriation of funds are felonies. Another quote I take issue with is about being fair to retiring teachers. My question is, why any bonuses at all? When we taxpayers were getting hammered financially back in 2008 with the recession, this district went unaffected. All contracts were realized and everyone got their money. This entire time, they've never had to share the pain of this financial mismanagement. And that's not right. You want to be fair to someone? How about being fair to us taxpayers? In fact, let me tell you about my neighbors. The couple with 4 kids, the first one now a freshman in college. Excuse me. The divorced woman who lost her job after 24 years and her 28-year-old daughter was home on disability. Or the 3 senior citizens, now 2, because one has passed, wondering how they're going to hold on to their house. Do you ever think of people like this when you're making financial decisions or wasting money? I read that the Superdog Training School made $76,000 under the Frankfurt Square Park District. You probably say that's nothing. In my neighborhood, that's about 30 homes worth of taxes. And you have the audacity to raise the tax levy again this year. You spend recklessly and keep coming back for more. You have an assistant superintendent of business, Mr. Sawin, who continues to be an obstructionist, complicit in covering up and, either through incompetence or intention, continues to mislead the public about the finances in the district. No matter what you say or do, Dr. Tingley and Mr. Sawin, you will always have the taint of Dr. Wiley on you. I find that you 2 have been less than honest, deceitful, and continue to operate in the same manner as the last superintendent. I think Pete Townsend said it best back in 1971. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. The song, won't get fooled again. Pretty appropriate. All said, and this is not personal and I take no joy in saying it, I'm requesting that Dr. Tingley and Mr. Sullivan resign their positions in the next 30 days. If not, I ask the board to remove and reassign both individuals or suspend them with pay until proper due process takes place, until they can be terminated with just cause. You can contact the Illinois State Board of Education for replacements until such a time a nationwide search can be undertaken to find a new superintendent and assistant superintendent. In short, we will never know the complete truths about this district until you clean house and bring in new people who have had no connection or relationship with the district. Why? Because you owe it to the taxpayers of the district. That's why.